All right.
How
many people we got in there? I don't know. Yeah, it's because of the V menu. Alright, just let me know if you need it again. Oh yeah.
If you didn't hear this,
It shouldn't flicker now. So. I'm not sure. It all depends on what's going on when people actually start coming in. Just crashed.
York. To know York. Over. Can't even move. He froze me. I can't move. Before that. Yep. When? Just come out.
Necessary files. And then also please note, you need to get past the prologue first with Trevor and Michael, and they go through that entire heist at the bank. And then also Franklin and Lamar, their first mission as well, because LSPD-FAR cannot load properly unless you're on a free roam state. So once you're in a free roam state, you're able to walk around and you're not on a mission. Then you pull up your cell phone, then you want to save your game, and that will be your next save point. Go ahead and close the game, and let's continue the The next step. Now that will be your next save point. Go ahead and close the game, and let's continue to the next step. Now, it's important to note that LSPD Fire base mod itself does not require script hook. A lot of people think that it does, but in fact, the base mod LSPD Fire does not require script hook. I think what people are really saying is that their trainers, their vehicles, their other plugins for LSPD Fire do require script hook. So therefore, we'll cover that in another video. If you look down below, the link will be there for script hook install if you're curious on how to install that. And then also my other plugins that will come out in year 2023 will be linked down below. Okay, let's hop on over to the main site, which is lspdfire.com. I'll be sure to provide a link for you down in the description as well as the pinned comment, because sometimes this link is kind of hard to find on their website. And then also please note that the version number will change throughout the year as well as the build number. But for now, this is the way it's going to be installed throughout the entire year. Now let's click on download this file. It's going to be the top right. You're going to notice there's two different kinds of installers. But the first one is going to be the auto installer. The one below that is going to be the manual install. So I'm going to go ahead and download both of these. And I'm going to cover that in today's video. But you would just pick one that you feel more comfortable with, the auto installer or the manual install. I currently have two downloads of LSPD Fire on my desktop right now. We have the manual install version, which is going to get covered right now in the first half of the video. And the auto installer is going to be right there. It's going to be the second half of the video. So this another timestamp. This is going to be for the auto installer for LSPD Fire, where you just click on one button and you go through the install process, and we're about to do it together. If you're looking to install this manually, really easy, really fast, only takes a couple of seconds, then look at the timestamp down below. It'll guide you to the manual install version of LSPD Fire to make sure you have an updated rage hook along with the manual install. Okay, let's click on the auto installer that's on my desktop right here. Now, I would encourage you to probably think about, if you're having trouble installing this, is to turn off your firewall for now, if you're having trouble with this, and also turn off your antiviral software. It will prevent those programs from blocking your files. So for me, I already have everything kind of unblocked. Most users will probably have that as well. But I'm going to go ahead and double click on the exe, and it'll give you a little flag right there that it is an exe. We're going to click on yes. Okay, we're going to click on English. We're going to go to next. The exe, and most users will already have that as well. But I'm going to go ahead and double click on the exe, and it'll give you a little flag right there that it is an exe. We're going to click on yes. Okay, we're going to click on English. We're going to go to next, and then make sure you read the disclaimer here. And then go ahead and click on next. These will be automatically defaulted. And then it will find your main game directory for you. So we're going to go ahead and click on install. Then you're going to click on finish. It will automatically be checked right there. Then it says, welcome to the LSPD Fire configurator. The configurator will guide you through the initial setup of LSPD Fire. Advanced users can skip this. For now, we're going to go to next. And you'll get a little pop-up right here. It says change settings. it says we recommend disabling the version text rendering and setting all plugins to load at startup. So you may want to go ahead and click on do it for me. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And it's already been installed. And that's all there is to it with the auto installer. We're going to click on OK. Now let's go back to the main game directory. This is where your GTA 5 is located at. And now this is where your Rage hook is located at. If you look real close, you're going to see a file right there called ragePluginHook.exe. We're going to right click and we're going to send that to desktop. Now Windows 10, you'll have the option right here. Windows 11, we have to go down to show more options. And then you option, look real close, located at. And now this is where your Rage hook is located at. If you look real close, you're going to see a file right there called ragePluginHook.exe. We're going to right click and we're going to send that to desktop. Now Windows 10, you'll have the option right here. Windows 11, we have to go down to show more options and then you want to go to send to and then go to desktop right there. Now once you've done that, you can close out of your main game directory because you don't really need it at the moment. But what I did was I pinned mine down to my taskbar. If you really look close, you'll see it right here, and I can click on that button and fire up Rage Hook, which is what I'm about to do. I just fired up the Rage Hook for the first time on this particular clean install of GTA 5 with LSPDFR, and I got this pop-up right here. I think this is something new that they're doing, Rage Hook. I'm not 100% convinced that it is brand new, but it is something that I'm glad they're doing. So this will allow your Windows firewall to allow these DLLs to get through so that you can connect and play. But what I did was I pinned mine down to my taskbar. If you really look close, you'll see it right here, and I can click on that button and fire up Rage Hook, which is what I'm about to do. I just fired up the Rage Hook for the first time on this particular clean install of GTA 5 with LSPDFR, and I got this pop-up right here. I think this is something new that they're doing, Rage Hook. I'm not 100% convinced that it is brand new, but it is something that I'm glad they're doing. So this will allow your Windows firewall to allow these DLLs to get through so that you can connect and play LSPDFR. So you can see right here, it says Rage Plugin Hook has detected that the following files might be blocked by Windows. Blocked files may cause crashes or other malfunctions. And you'll see there's a whole laundry list full of DLLs that we need in order to play LSPDFR. So right here at the very bottom, you'll notice it says, do you want Rage Plugin Hook to unblock these files? And my answer is going to be yes. Now, if you don't see this message, don't let that worry you. Maybe you need to reinstall Rage Hook in order to get this message again. It's always possible. This is kind of something new they're doing with Rage Plugin Hook, but I'm going to go ahead and click on yes and allow it to do its thing. And then it's going to go through a little process of reading the disclaimer. So if you feel comfortable reading all that, we're going to go ahead and click on yes. Now, your Rage console key when you're in game, it's going to be the F4 key. You're going to be typing a few things in there from time to time, and it's just important to note your Rage console key is going to be F4. Now, the plugin timeout threshold has to do with how much time do you want to allow Rage Hook to load into the game and load all of your plugins. So what we're going to do is change that to 60,000. That will be 1 full minute to allow all your plugins to install correctly. If it loads faster, then that's great. Mine usually gets into the game after about 30-40 seconds roughly, and I have a pretty decent PC. But if you are on a low-end PC, make sure this says 60,000, and that will save you a lot of crashing right there. The next step is pretty vital. So this is a very, very important part of the video. I'm going to timestamp this as well, is dealing with the Rage menu. So we're going to go to plugins right here. And this is the reason why a lot of people do not see, their police stations whenever they load into the game. There's a reason for that, because if you go to plugins, it says don't load any plugins on startup, meaning LSPD Fire will not get loaded with Rage Hook. And sometimes that could be a good thing. Sometimes it could be a bad thing. Personally, I kind of like the idea of not having anything loaded until I get into the game. The new rave that most people are doing these days are clicking on don't load any plugins on startup, leave it as default, and then you're going to save and launch your game in just a moment. But for now, I'll just leave it just like this. We can load it inside the game, and I'll show you how to do that in just a moment. But if you go to game settings, if you are having some crashing with LSPD Fire, Rage Hook, these kinds of things, go to command line switches right here at the top. If you scroll down just a little bit, force Windows mode is a really good one in my opinion, because a lot of PCs have issues with programs like this. So if you click on force Windows mode, it will load into the game in window mode. But there's a little trick you can do with the Alt key, press the Enter key, which we'll talk about in just a moment. It'll get you right out of Windows mode and you're right into full screen. So in my opinion, I think it loads a little bit better if you click on force Windows mode. Then that's about all you need to do on that part. We're going to go save and launch. And you'll notice this dialog box right here. So what they're saying right here is that you can get back to the Rage menu by double clicking Rage plugin hook and hold down your shift key for about 2 or 3 seconds. So for now, let's go ahead and save and launch. By now, you should see some words floating across your screen. That's a good sign. That means your PC is just kind of accepting these things right here. And you notice it's loading story mode, but not really story mode like you think. It's going to be loading into the game just like right now. It looks like we're in story mode, but we're really not. Hold down your left Alt key and press Enter. It'll get you right into full screen mode right there. So what we got to do is if you try to go into your Rage console right now, if you press F4, start typing in load plugin, press tab, and then you notice it's already spelling out LSPD first response, press tab, and notice it's ready to accept the entry, and then you press enter, and then you wait for a second. It will load up. It usually takes a few seconds. It's ready to accept the entry, and then you press enter, and then you wait. Notice if you press F4, start typing in load plugin, press tab, and then you notice it's already spelling out LSPD first response. press tab, and notice it's ready to accept. The intro load up, but we're not. So what you could do, there's a couple of things you can do, is if you press your F4 key again, if you're out in the world, if you type in force duty, so notice it's trying to spell it for us, press tab, and then if you press enter, it will seem like we're going to be on duty. We haven't gone to the PlayStation yet, so the game doesn't even recognize our character yet. So we have to create a new police character. If you type in go to PD, you can press enter.
What's up? than collecting frequent flyer miles or credit card points. These are things that actually make you happy. Come on, you're becoming a virtual hoarder. Just let it go.
Can you hear me? Dang, I've been talking to myself with my voice changes. But you said where you at? I said I'm at the airport, and I thought you heard me. Oh, okay, got you.
Tell them so we rougher than the ground. Some of them pussy on the liar. Bad mind in a them blood. Slap them boy, they not alone. Why your brain fly well like a dove? Some of them pussy are user. Some me not hear them in the street. Go look your mama figure you. Figure you. Them can't trick me with no head.
Are you having a good evening or that?
Citizens reporting a 211
no, not at the moment. I'm live on TikTok.
24/7 market. Units respond code 3.
Let's have music. Music is our life.
Targets are in a silver van in downtown Vinewood.
That ain't good. Yes, I know. Just stressful. We haven't talked in a while. What have you been up to? Hey man, what's up?
Now it'll teleport you just to the nearest PD. There's really not a rhyme or reason like where you need to go. But if you look at your map now, you press escape. If you kind of zoom in a little bit, you'll notice you have